Hi, everyone. My name is Mia, and today I'm here to talk about tech careers and explore roles that they might be a little bit more technical and explore other roles that they are less technical. And I do consider this is very relevant because in the tech world, we do have a lot of flexible and remote options for us. And then as a military spouse, we do need, especially when we are relocating. So as Angela said, I am a military spouse. We're currently living in Lille, and I've been working in the tech industry for like over 8 to 9 years now. The first 4 years, I work in a big IT Canadian company where I had different roles. I started as a help desk technician, and then I moved to like a system administrator, and then I moved to like a Java developer position. After that, I worked for the past years a smaller um, company where I work always remotely. I had a job as a developer and project manager. I deal a lot with the clients too. And also I do some side contracts. Um, Throughout my journey, I also help to do some recruiting through the companies and welcome new team members either to replace me or to be introduced to the team. So throughout the presentation, I'll be giving you like some stories, some tips, and to just to like show what experience I had in this subject. Okay, so let's start. So why tech? So in the next few slides, we're going to discuss several roles, and we're going to see like there's more technical roles and a little bit less technical, and how they can be like remote and hybrid. So there's more remote and hybrid opportunities. And also something that is very important is that the tech skills are global. So you can work for any company. You won't be having any licensing restrictions, like, for example, a teacher that just can work in Canada or in a specific province. So that's not an issue that we are having. Um, so we do follow some universal standards, and then after that, each company will have their own standards, but that's pretty much like all the restrictions. Also, there's a lot of kind of contracts. There's freelancing. Uh, there's contracts you might be hired just to do a project. There's the typical 35 to 40-hour project contracts. And also, like the schedules are very flexible. The IT industry, they focus more on the result, on obtaining a result, than rather to do like the 9 to 5. So sometimes I work my daily hours, but sometimes, I put the kids to bed and then I have certain ideas and certain things so I can connect to my computer and keep working. So this kind of flexibility works really along the way for military spouses. And, if your spouse has a very, uh, a very busy schedule, so this flexibility always helps. And IT is behind every kind of business. A couple years ago, I had an interview for a furniture company to work in their IT department. And I thought, okay, well, their IT department is going to be the smaller department, but no, it was the biggest department. I thought maybe manufacturing or designing will be their big department, but no, it was IT because they were doing software to like mainstream, like all the distribution system. They were having a software uh, to do the design itself of the furniture, and then they were having all of their support of their website. So it is IT is everywhere and in every business. Also, I feel like in the tech industry, they are more acceptable of career breaks. So, for example, if we are relocating or for any reason we need to like stop working for a little while, as far as you're keeping your skills, you're doing courses in YouTube or Google or Coursera. So I feel it's more forgiven that for a period of time don't have a job. So yeah, this is all the reasons that I could think why tech could be a tech career could be good for like a military spouse. And then now we're gonna talk about a little bit more the technical roles. Um, so for technical roles, we start for like the basic software developer. So it's a person that specializes with certain like programming languages that they will build applications or websites. And then there's the QA tester. So basically, it's a person that develops some coding that tests what the software developer did. Data analysis, it's a developer that has developed algorithms to obtain data, to then after that develop some trends. Data analysis is like really big right now, especially in the AI world. So we're gonna talk this a little bit later. But yeah, it's also a really on-demand job. A DevOps is a person that basically takes the what the software developer did and they will put it into production. Cybersecurity analyst. This is another role that is really on high demand right now. It's to protect like networks. And system administrator, it's a person that deals with the whole infrastructure um, of like database software, applications, servers. So they deal with all of this. So usually those roles, they are, you need to have a big basic knowledge. So how you can obtain them is through a bachelor's degree, 2-year technical programs, and also boot camps. A little bit the difference between these studies is like bachelor's degree is 4 years, so it's lengthy, it's a little bit more costly. But opens like doors like master's degrees and especially like government jobs. They like to see like the bachelor instead of like a technical 2-year program. But technical 2-year programs, they are really good too when you want like a shorter formation and they really prepare you well too. And then another one is coding bootcamps. So coding bootcamps, it's a very short amount of time where you're going to be working really hard during short amount of time. They are going to prepare you what the market currently needs, but that certification might not be accepted for certain employers. Certain employers might not be thinking that that's enough. And some of them are quite expensive, and some of them, they can be a little bit of a scam. So if you want to go that route, I would say go through it with a reputed university. And then there's also like once you have your basic knowledge, there's those certifications here that it's always nice to have. Those are usually exams that you take. Certain employers might provide them, and then certain others just want them to have. So usually how I will interview somebody for a technical role. So first I would have a first interview where I'm going to see if the person is a good fit for the team and evaluate a little bit their knowledge. So we're a little bit having like a basic conversation where we're seeing like the level. Then after that, there's going to be a technical exam. A technical exam can look like something like I'm sending a link and I'm sending like a bunch of questions and they need to answer along the way. These questions might be a very short amount of time. Or there might be a big exercise that I'm asking them to do and they are free to do, or we're doing this exercise together. So this part can be like very tricky and we're asking a lot. This can be like a very stressful technical exam, but it is meant for making the other person sweat. Like, I'm gonna be honest, it's difficult, and we make it on purpose very difficult because we want to see how resourceful is the person that we're interviewing. Then I got a lot of comments saying, oh, the technical exam was way more difficult than my job. Like, yeah, probably, but we make that on purpose to see how the person is going to which tools they are going to use to help them, what they are going to search in Google, what they are going to search in ChatGPT, like what kind of, what kind of resolutions they have come up with. And usually after a technical exam, there is a technical interview where we are going to evaluate the technical exam. And hopefully if you pass all of this, then there's the job offer. But yeah, like the interview process for these technical roles are quite heavy, and they are meant to be heavy, and they are going to get even more heavier with AI tools, because now people can use AI tools to make their code. So now we need to even be a little bit harder for that. So yeah. And then we have non-coding and low code roles. So obviously all the roles that I'm talking about, those are the kind of the main classic roles. And there might be other ones not as like popular, but like those are, I think, the basic good ones to know. So an IT business analyst. So this role is a person that analyzes what the company needs, what the company has, and what's in the market right now to accomplish the company goals. And then they make a plan to implement it. So for example, when Microsoft roll out Microsoft Teams, a lot of companies, we do have Microsoft licenses, and then Microsoft Teams either was offered for free, part of the license, or was offered as an extra cost. So we needed a person to understand if we needed Microsoft Teams. So is this going to be good for our clients? How secure it is? Because a lot of like meetings that we do, the company, like we need to know if there's going to be any security issues, any security breaches. So that's what a business analyst does. And then they make the whole plan about it with a budget. And then we have the roles of product owner and product manager. Some companies will have this role as one, or some companies will have it separately. So product owner is a person that deals with the client, that defines what the software, the website needs to be looking like, and then goes to the developer and manage that with the developer too. So it's like the intermediary between like the client and the developer. And a project manager is a person that deals with the timeline and the budget of what the product needs to be. So it depends on the company. This might be one role or might be separate, because a product owner might have different products and a project manager might have different projects to manage. And UX UI designer. So those are persons like they will do digital products using WordPress, Shopify, or Webflow, or similar tools. So they will build a full website by themselves. They are usually websites very user friendly. And if they need something specific, they might just call the software developer to help them with some coding. But usually those power tools will build the whole website, and their job is to make it very user friendly and to have a good user experience. Like most of the websites online, they are made by them. Usually for these kind of roles, for a designer, we do look for certain certifications. So for example, if we want a WordPress designer, so we want the WordPress certification. That's good to have. And then there's the technical support and customer service. So basically, you'll be troubleshooting problems constantly. The company, they train you. Usually, they train you, and you'll be just troubleshooting. Like I was a help desk technician, and all the calls you get either through like by the phone or like a FaceTime, and you're just troubleshooting problems constantly. So for those roles, we don't usually look for a bachelor's degree. It's not a requirement, but we do look for certifications, like the platforms of Google, Coursera, and Udemy. They provide great certification for those roles. And also, we look for certain skills and tools. Like tools like Jira is a really important tool to know. It's an Atlassian product that that all of those roles will need to like have certain level of proficiency. And also, we're looking for a person with great communication skills, great management skills, and an interview process for one of those roles, except for like a designer that we would like to see maybe like a portfolio and to see like what they work with. So we will usually have a first interview to know the person, to know their background, to see if there's one of these certification. And maybe after that, we'll send them like a problem, like a project to manage, like a little exercise. And most of the time, we'll be connected with this person, like, okay, like now, if I'm giving you this budget, how will you solve this kind of problems? And but it's not as a stressful process as the technical roles. It's a little bit more, and we're looking how the person is communicating, how the person is managing the times, and how they will plan that. And yeah, and hopefully they get a job offer after. And so I put the third slide about roles because AI is here to stay. Like AI is currently changing the definition of the roles that I just mentioned. A developer is not anymore a person that's going to write the code from A to Z. Like we're going to be using an AI tool that writes the code for us, and then we're going to just adjust it for what we need or correct it a few things. And yeah, so I wanted to talk about those roles, roles in AI. So coding roles in AI will be machine learning developers. So it's a developer that builds models, ML models to power those AI tools. Data scientist, it's the same role we talked before. It's like a person that creates an algorithm to collect data to then after that make trends. So they will make a trend. So for then after that, the software developer build the models based on those trends. Non-coding roles. So the same roles that I just talked about project management, business analyst. So all of them are the same, but focus on AI products. And then AI interaction designer, very similar to a UX UI designer, but they focus on the interface of AI products. AI trainer, this can be a great side job. So basically, you train the AI, you tell them, okay, this is an image, this is text, this is data, this is this. And this can be a great introduction job for AI. And most of the companies will offer it based like on a salary, hourly base salary. So that's a nice side job. And then like AI is getting more and more regulations. So an AI ethics and responsible AI specialist is good. So it makes the company to stay within the regulations and to stay good for that. And the formation for those AI roles, it's very similar to what we talked. There's bachelor degrees, boot camps, uh, courses, and then there's certifications too that it's good to have. I've never done interviews for AI roles yet, so I'm guessing it's gonna be the same as I mentioned the other ones, but I personally don't have experience yet on that. So now, like, you hear all of those roles and like you're super excited about the about the tech industry, and you wonder, okay, what path do I want to take? Do I want to take a more like a technical role, or do I want to take more like a management role? So I put here a few questions that I do ask myself. It's like, what do I prefer? Do I prefer people or systems? This one is funny, but when you think about it, like a person that's coding, it's sitting in their computers alone most of the time, and they just deal with computers. So uh, some people that wants to be in the a developer, then they get discouraged because they miss the human communication, the human. So it's a question. It's like, also, do I want to code daily? Do I want to be sitting in front of a computer, in front of a black screen, and just write code and solve problems? Or do I prefer to be in a more management position or a more designer position, especially for artistic people? Getting a UX UI designer, it's a nice, if you feel more artistic, that is a really great path too. And then how much time can I invest in education? So more technical roles, they do require a good base of education. And then after that, when you get hired by a company, most of the time, like the company gives you some formation and then you just grow up, but then they do require a good base. So if you don't have time for education, this can be like, okay, maybe I want a less technical role so I can get a certification and then I can get a job faster. And what is my goal? Like, for example, for me, when I started in the tech world, I know I wanted to be a developer and I worked hard for that. But then as life keeps going, now with kids and with a second pregnancy, I might not be able to have so much time to keep my skills sharp, to keep like going that way. So maybe I'm considering, oh, maybe my next maternity leave, I'll be taking, I like project management. So maybe I'll take a certification on project management, or even like I'm considering to get a teaching license. So when we go back to Canada, I can be teaching in IT. So, it's also like, it's all personal choices. I'm thinking like what the situation it is right now. Also like roles in tech, they are very like remote friendly and flexible. So that's why choosing a path in tech can be uh, a good like a like can be a good thing, can be a good fit for military spouses that were constantly moving every 3 to 4 years. So it's a good path. And then transferable skills. So those are all skills that you all already have if you don't one move with the military. And if you don't one international move with the military, you have those excel. So when I'm in an interview and I'm hearing those words, this is music to my ears. So organization and planning and time management, it's very important because we always work for clients and we always work under certain budget and timelines. So yeah, learning quickly and cultural adaptability. Cultural adaptability, if you move to Europe from Canada, so you got that one too. And working under pressure, yes, because we're always like depending on budget and timing. So there's always that stress on top of us. And communication, even if you're a developer, you still need to like communicate to either the project management manager or the director. So good communication skills are important. And then problem solving and team collaboration. Those are also very important skills because we always need to deliver a product, and this product they can have errors, or the client was expecting something and they didn't get that, and then you need to change it. And so yeah, those are skills as a military spouse. We have them that we can definitely tell them in an interview, and the interviewer is going to be very happy to hear them. So now, like, you hear all of this presentation and you're super excited to get a career in the IT world. So how do you get started? So I will say, do a little bit more investigation about the roles that I just talked about. Uh, Talk to people in the sector. You can email me, talk to me privately on Facebook, or ask me any questions. Also, like, try short courses. YouTube is great for that. Although, like, anybody can post videos in YouTube, so you can see in the comment section like if this is like a valid tutorial or not. If not, Google. Google has free trial periods. Google, Coursera, and I think I know Amazon. I think they are all paid, but Google and Coursera can be. I think there's like 30 days free trial, I think. And then once you're doing all of those courses, like all the practical part that you do, put them in a portfolio because this is work that you've done. So make sure that you keep it, and then you can build your portfolio. And also apply for jobs before you feel ready. So as a recruiter, I'm gonna post a job offer and I'm gonna ask for 10 years of experience. Like, I'm gonna ask for like all the high things. But I'm telling you, like, I think I just had one case one time that she was fitting every single check. I think 90% of the things. But we never get the perfect candidate, or rarely, rarely ever. Once we do when we do an interview, we do look for how is this person gonna fit into the team, what is their knowledge, and how much money as a company needs to pay for this person to perform their job. So this is like how this person is gonna get there. So yeah, so that's why you need to apply before you get ready for before like you do all the checks. Like, no, like, barely nobody fits all the bill. So, and then what a transition looks like. So once you start in the IT world, how does the beginning of the job look like? So I started as a junior in several of my positions, and I can tell you those first 3 to 6 months are like not hell, but almost like, because you're just learning so many things so fast, but it feels so slow because it is so difficult at the same time. But you're just learning like probably a new company, your new job, your new role, what's the standards of the company, how they want you to perform that job. You're learning also about your clients. So these 3 months, 6 months, they will fly by. And then once you pass this trial period, you'll be like floating, like learning a little bit more, but like floating a little bit more stable. And then after a few years, you'll become a senior. So that's usually what I've seen for myself and what I've seen for people that's taking over my job, or for people that I introduce to the team. And not all the companies will have an introduction set up. Um, so I was working for a company that had, when I started there, like, they had zero introduction. They were just showing you to work for the client. By then I had already had some baggage, so I was able to like work right away. But then I told the directors, like, we cannot do this to like new people. It's too stressful. It's bad. And then we designed a program that will we'll introduce the person to the company, and then we will introduce it to the job, and then we will upskill this person. So it was like a 3 months progression. Most of the companies have realized that this is the way to do that we want to set up the person for success, but still there's some companies that they might not do it. So this can be like a little bit more tricky. So it can be also like a point of discussion while you're doing your interviews too. And then once you pass your trial period, keep studying, keep upskilling, keep working, and then just understand that the progress is not linear. But in the IT world, you always want to keep up to date with the news. I do have like emails that I receive like once a week. It's like, oh, this is the new thing or podcast. Um, yeah, sometimes it's difficult to like keep always up to date, but yeah, it's kind of like a little requirement to for the IT. It's a little bit on the downside, but anyway. Anyway, so that was the presentation. If anybody has any questions, you can ask me now or send me an email or